What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Champions Forge podcast. I'm Brandon. We're going to talk about baseball, softball, training, the recruiting side, the mindset, and what it actually takes to become elite. If you're serious about getting better, you're in the right place. All right, guys. So today's guest is one of my favorite people, one of the ones that were behind me the whole time. Many of you guys know him, and if you don't know him, this is my brother, Jordan.
Talk to me, baby.
Little golf
What's
clap.
going on? What's going on?
Little golf
people?
clap. So what's up, my man Jordan? How we
What's
feeling,
going
brother?
on?
Finally here, huh?
Yep, we finally got it going.
I know, man. I feel like we're Logan Paul and Jake Paul right now. So
Well,
pretty
we're
cool.
not there just yet. Long way to go, but this is where we start.
Yes. So today I wanted to talk, Jordan, just talk about like how we came up with this idea of Champions Forge and how like this whole recruiting process works for our college people listening, our older girls listening, or boys. I think I want to go into like how we started when you were younger. Talk to like your whole journey through the process and travel ball and all that stuff, and give me your background too, because I know many people don't know our background, so I guess we can go through that as well. But let's just start with you first.
Well, I mean, so background, it kind of goes more into, you want to talk more from high school or like after high school, because there's also I took a year off. Like there's a whole.
Yeah, I mean, let's go. Let's start there. Let's go from high school. We don't need to go like your old travel days and stuff.
So high school, it was definitely a little bit difficult. I struggled a little bit with weight and
Yeah.
had a lot of potential. Had not all tools, but I had some pretty good tools to use.
Mm-hmm.
Speed, arm strength was good. It was more based off of like, I couldn't get the idea in my head to gain weight.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the biggest problem, especially going to showcases.
Mm-hmm.
I kept getting told like D2s, JUCOs, whatever it was, like, hey man, like you're good, but I need 20 pounds. Easy.
Right.
And at the time I was like 5'4", 130 pounds, wet.
Yeah.
But like honestly, it just never went through my head. And honestly, and you know how Dad is. Dad kind of stuck it to us most of the time. Like, hey man, like this is what you have to do. You're never gonna get good if you don't do these things. So that was just kind of one of the things I just brushed to the side. I don't know why. Honestly, I was so stubborn, and I was more of in the idea of, hey, like they should take me for who I am.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, now looking at it now, I'm dumb. I should have never did that.
No, for sure. I think it's good for, like many of the kids that we're training right now, right? It's a lot of them are undersized and the parents don't understand like what it takes to actually be a college athlete. And, they think just because they're good in their local travel teams, or some of them are playing regionals and national teams and stuff, but like they don't understand like to play like Division I, you have to have physical. You have to have that physical part. You can't be 150 pounds, 5'5", and not hitting the ball out of the park. You know what I mean? Or not throwing 95. You know what I mean? So like, I guess that's where it stems from too. Like, why we created what we created. Just because like we know us being overlooked probably our whole life, and us undersized our whole life, is why I think we're both training and we're hard on the kids, and it's part of our culture and why we design what we have right now. So can you talk a little bit about like after senior year, you going into college, taking time off and stuff, and then landed where you landed?
So that was where I kind of like hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
I believe, I want to say 2016 I graduated. 2017 was like a rebuild year for me.
Yeah. Airport.
I worked at the airport.
Yeah.
I played video games, competing,
Yeah.
traveled, did all that, and then kind of came to a realization of, hey man, I need to get back into baseball. I saw all my friends at D1s,
Mm-hmm.
all these colleges playing,
Mm-hmm.
all my boys. Like, it was just like, it kind of hit me where I was like, I know I could play in college.
Right.
And off the jump, we went to that scam school
Yeah.
in North Carolina. That was a joke.
Yeah.
So that's what really turned me around. I was just like, man, I just want to get away from baseball for a year.
Yeah.
So I took away I took away the whole baseball scene from me,
Mhm.
and I just kind of just focused on life. And I was just like, let me try to find myself.
Right.
And when I started to find myself, then I knew what I had to do.
Right.
I was like, okay, so where do I start? And I knew at the time I kept getting rejected from colleges was,
Mhm.
you're too small,
Yeah.
you're too small, you're too small, you're too small.
Right.
So I was like, what do I do? So then I got a gym membership. You know, I had to work, I had to do all this other stuff. So I had to take a whole year off just to get to where I needed to be.
Right.
I had a friend that was at a college at the time, which led me to an open tryout in Jacksonville. And that's where I played at TBC for a year or 2 years. And then COVID hit.
Mhm.
And that was when I think that was like my biggest grind was like going. So that my first grind was definitely when I quit and then to come back. And then my second grind was when COVID hit.
Mhm.
Because I'm already getting older.
Right.
So as I was getting older, I was like, I don't really have time for much. I'm kind of like on the express train right now. So I'm like, what do I got to do? So I come in, I think my sophomore year at TBC, I was having an incredible year. I was batting like
I
440.
remember.
I was ranked like 35 catcher in the whole NCCAA. Like I was
The
just
Christian
I was
Chico.
on a very, very good journey right there. Like I was feeling myself. And we're already like 28 games in, and then COVID hits, the whole pandemic happens, and I'm like, this is another setback.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm
I was
already
mad
getting
about
older.
that.
Yeah,
You were hitting the ball well.
very
And
well.
I was like, oh man, this now you keep doing this, you have opportunity to transfer to a really good D2.
Really good. And that was my biggest thing. I didn't really care about D1. I didn't care about anything else besides just getting to a good school where I belong.
Right.
And I think what helped me most throughout that process was God, because like
Mhm.
what happened during that process had led me to each one of my schools was a Christian school.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's by accident. I
Right.
think that's, by faith.
Right.
And I think that's definitely what led to don't give up, like
Mhm.
don't quit and just keep going. And that's where COVID hit, and now I kind of got sidetracked, and I'm like, now I'm out for a year. Another year goes by, everyone's in a pandemic, everyone's in mask. And then I got to a point where I'm like, I kept practicing, kept grinding, because I knew once COVID was done, everything is going to get back up again.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right. So I just had to prepare for that. And then that's when I was able to get into, all coming off a hot year, I was able to get into the summer league, the Florida Collegiate League.
Yeah. And that's a whole
Which-
experience there too. But let's talk about like what offers did you have after that hot year, right? I remember Division One was
St. John's in New York.
St. John's in New York, right?
I was talking to Florida Tech.
Florida Tech Division Two.
Um,
I don't remember after that.
I think honestly those were just those two. I had a couple schools that were like out of Florida. They were like in Ohio and stuff like that were
Yeah.
interested in me, but I didn't really have nothing besides those four.
Right.
I had a couple colleges that was just like, no, we're full. We have all our seniors coming back.
Right.
Um,
Especially with the COVID year, it was weird.
yeah, a lot of schools didn't have a lot of money,
Yeah.
so they can only give me so much. And a lot of these schools were like 60 grand, 50 grand to go to, especially St. John's and Florida Tech. So it was
Right.
like,
So after this, you just went to the collegiate league, and that story itself is pretty cool. I think you could talk a little bit about that. What was the coach's name? I forget.
oh, Mike Powers, my guy.
Yeah, Mr. Mike Powers, right?
Favorite coach of all time.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy.
Favorite coach. He honestly, he opened the doors for me.
Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't for him, like if he didn't see my potential, even though he says I saw my potential before he saw my potential,
Yeah,
I mean, he opened so many doors. I mean, the only one who really got me there was Greg, though.
yeah.
Greg Lewandowski. Shout out
Yeah,
to you,
yeah,
man.
shout out to him.
He got me the open practice with them because he was in it,
Right.
and he brought me into just to practice. I was like, dude, I don't care. I'll do anything. I was
Yeah.
like, I'll freaking
Catch bullpens.
wipe. Yeah, I'll catch bullpen. I'll be the bullpen catcher.
Clean
I just wanted to
cleats.
be like around high level people.
Yeah.
And that was my biggest thing, because if I can get around high level people, I can learn, I can get better.
Right.
Just to go back to whatever school I was going to go to.
Mhm.
And I think, and that's exactly what I did. I called bullpens. I was working out with the team. I did not belong there.
Right.
I mean, we had UNC guys there. We had what was the other schools?
Yeah, Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had some big school. I remember
inside
going
the
there.
league. Yes, there was that, because remember, everyone couldn't play at like Cape Cod or anything like that, so
Yeah.
everybody was in this league. So we had like the top of the top players. Like you had even Greg, he was coming from Kent State. Like
Yeah, no, for
you know,
sure.
so there was a lot of good schools, and like I'm sitting there just catching bullpens and just showing up before everyone, getting my practice on because that was the only field we had,
Yeah,
especially during COVID because everything was locked down, and while everything was starting to get back up, that's where I can kind of like I was like I'll just use this as practice, and it went from that to right before the season was about to start, Mike Powers pulls me aside and tells everybody in the on the team is like, this guy doesn't even belong here, but he proved that he belongs here,
yeah,
and I think that's a very, for me, it's very I keep that close to me because like it just kind of shows of what I had to do my whole life is just work hard and kind of like
yeah,
never quit and keep going, and he was there to like kind of like highlight that like, hey man, like this like you do like hard work does get rewarded,
yep,
and I think that's what you kind of have to believe in order to make it. You kind of got to be delusional a little bit to be like,
hmm,
hey, I'm gonna go play D1, but you end up landing at a good NAI, you know. So it's
right,
like you just gotta kind of have you gotta believe in yourself, and you kind of just gotta be delusional at the same time.
right. No, yeah, that's a good story. I remember from my perspective, you seen me in the Florida Collegiate League, right? 'Cause I played a little bit in there too back in my time. It's just the physicality. Like even you look scared your first year, and we'll go to your second year because I think you did really well your second year when you entered the Florida Collegiate League. But that first year, I'm like, dang, dude, you can tell like there's a big difference. You just look like a kid compared to everyone else, right?
Mm.
Most of them were just bigger, stronger, and they look like they belonged. But going to that next year, I'm like, oh wow, Jordan belongs, right? So it's cool to see that whole journey that you took, and you never like you never backed down from that. At least you had some balls to go compete at that level because it's a hard league. It's not the best league, but it's definitely it's just one of the tougher ones. It's probably like back in my time, it was like top two, top three. Now I don't know, right? You got the Cape Cod, you got
You got a draft league.
you got the draft league. There's like I don't know if the Alaska league is still. They used to be good
Yeah,
back in then. I don't. But
there's a
yeah.
lot
I
of
mean,
good
it was
leagues. You
pretty.
had Northwoods League. Northwoods League is pretty good too.
Yeah, everything changes now, so I don't know too much. Um, but yeah. So after that first year, how did you get your offer for ONU, and how did that work?
For that, I believe so. Honestly, I just kind of just played my part on the team, and I kind of just did what I had to do. And so my assistant coach at my old school,
Yeah.
Jonathan Shiver, shout out to you, my other favorite coach. He kind of like he was always like with me. He was like he knew what I had, and he knew what I definitely became that year. And I guess he got a call from he knew one of the coaches at ONU or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and I ended up getting a call after my last game. After like I want to say it was like my last game of the season in the Florida
It was
League.
definitely like last minute.
And
Yeah.
as soon as I think it was like the last game, and we're about to go into playoffs, I think, and I get a call from Shiver. He's like, "Hey man, like, I got a good opportunity for you. They got some money to spend. They're looking for a catcher. Like, would you be opening to going out of Florida?" I was like, "Bro, send me anywhere."
I'm there.
Like I was like, "I'm there. I just want to play."
Yeah.
Because I felt like I definitely got shortened out
For COVID.
For
Yeah,
COVID.
yeah, yeah.
So he's like, "Hey, like I know some guys over here, blah blah blah." So he kind of made that connection, and he
Mhm.
kind of set that up where I ended up getting that call after that game, and I actually did really good that game.
Right.
So I was already on a high. So I was like, this is everything kind of just domino affecting and kind of like just playing into like the hey, like don't quit, don't give up kind of thing.
Right.
And that kind of led to, I would say that kind of led to me talking to some of the coaches at ONU, and then going on the visit, which you guys attended with me.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was cool to see. An NAI like that was like had Division 1 stuff. I'm like, wow, this is cool. And then, it turned out to be, good team, good program.
Yeah,
and-
a pretty good program. I mean, we won 2 conference champions each year.
Yeah.
We got 2 rings from it. Went to the World Series twice, opening rounds.
Yep.
I mean, it was just a good experience overall. I met some of my closest friends that I still talk to this day.
Right.
So it definitely led to like, hey, like, it's not just about playing. It's about like growing as a person, and it's about learning life a little bit. That because this is stuff that's gonna happen in life. Like you're gonna lose your job.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna have the income sometimes, and like, what are you gonna do? Like, are you just gonna let yourself hit rock bottom, or you're gonna keep going? You know, you're gonna keep going. You gotta find the money to pay the bills. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. So
Right.
I feel like it was definitely a good life lesson
Right.
for sure.
So let's transition now. That was your playing career. I kind of want to talk about like what got you into really doing lessons and coaching kids. And I know we had a passion always. I know I always had a passion with kids. Since I was little, I was always training kids. I was always coaching you with Dad. I learned a lot from Dad. Dad was a really good coach. At the time, we never thought that he knew anything. But now, being older, Dad was right about a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. You know what I mean? So shout out to Dad. Honestly, I mean, I think without him, we probably wouldn't be in the shoot like where we're at right now. As us being coaches and mentors for these kids. Our dad was very, very tough on us, still tough on us to this day. And that's a characteristic that I'm always going to have with all of our teams, our kids, and, all that stuff. So shout out to you, Dad. I want to talk about what made you, start doing lessons again and started training kids after you had a pretty good job. You had a pretty good job, and then you kind of just picked up and said, "Hey, I'm gonna go do lessons." And I don't remember what I was doing at the time, but I think I was not doing lessons at the time. But yeah, let's go to that. Like, what made you make that leap, make that jump to
To go
train
like
kids?
full time.
Yeah,
I really, because I know the grind for me getting better each time was like this is cool. Like,
yeah,
I see myself progressing, and I see myself getting better. I see myself getting stronger.
right.
And I remember. I mean, Dad was one of them. He's like, "Don't worry about home runs. Don't worry about home runs." I'm like, "But why can't I hit a home run? Like, why? Like, if I want to get looked at, I want to go do this. Like, I gotta hit for power. Like, I have to have some type of power in me that I don't need to hit home runs all the time, but I gotta hit some bombs.
Right.
I gotta hit some doubles." So I think that was a big learning curve. When I went, actually, it was when I think 2018. You were at the facility that you lived in.
Ariel's facility.
Ariel's facility that you
Mhm.
lived in.
Mm-hmm.
And Andy Barquette did like a hitting clinic there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember
Shout out to them.
yeah, shout out to them. And then Andy Barquette talked about a lot of like ground energy and like
Yeah, using the
engine,
ground,
like
yeah.
using the engine from the ground and stuff
Mhm.
like that. And that's something that like I kind of use to my lessons now.
Mm-hmm.
And that always triggered something in my brain. I'm like, this is what's gonna help me.
Yeah.
And that actually ended up helping me where I started. That's why I had that. I went back to my sophomore year and I let off the first two series at like 5 doubles.
Yeah.
Like, right off the wall, like
Yeah. No.
starting off hot. So that kind of like led me to, I always found myself like trying to help other people too throughout that process.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had my boy Macho. I had a couple kids on the team that like, we were kind of like roommates. Some of us were like, hey, like let's go hit and stuff like that. And they couldn't understand how I could put the ball, pretty deep for my size at the time.
Yep.
And they couldn't. So I think that's what really helped me kind of like, I always had that need to kind of like, I always felt that need to like try to help people, try to help you. I think we all kind of deal with that.
All of it. Yeah,
I know,
at
between
least
you
in our
and me,
family.
our whole family, I feel like we kind of all deal with like, we got to try to help.
Yeah.
And I think that's what led into kind of getting into the training, because after I graduated, I was a broker, and then I was doing lessons on the side. I was like, dude, how cool would it be like
Do this full time.
to do this full time? And I was already loving the process of the kids getting better, showing like the before and after. So I'm like, man, this is awesome. Like, and then I remember you had the facility in 2018. I'm like, dude, imagine just having that as a job, just like showing up every day for kids, like getting them better every day, and like kind of being their role model and kind of like just mentoring them, where it's like it's not impossible,
Right.
Everybody could do it. You just got to know how.
Right. And then eventually you
And
build some clientele, and then you got an opportunity
so-
from Alex, and then
Yeah, I got an opportunity from another facility. Went over there. Well, I really got the opportunity because of Devin.
yeah.
So Dev kind of put a name, or kind of put like a, what do you call that?
Like a recommendation.
Yeah, like a recommendation.
Yeah,
like, hey man, like this kid's good. Like
Yeah.
he trains. He's a grind. He knows what the grind is. And
Yeah.
Devin yourself, like he's all about the grind. Like he knows all the rehab and all the everything he's done. I mean,
Yeah.
you name it, he's probably done it.
Mm-hmm.
And I caught so many bullpens from him while he was in school, so it was always kind of like a good mesh of like we can see how each other work.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
you
saying?
guys
Like
had good chemistry.
we
for
had good
sure.
chemistry, and it was like,
Mhm.
okay, like this is what it takes to be at the next level. And that's actually another one of those things. Like catching his bullpens is like this is a high advanced guy throwing, and it's like I'm
Mhm.
catching, I'm learning. He's telling me like what I want here on certain pitches and stuff like that. Only helped me going
Mhm.
into my playing career. So I'm like, all this could help,
Yep.
you know. But shout out to Devin, and Devin ended up putting a name in for me, and then I was doing less. I was still doing side lessons on
Mhm.
Saturdays. I think on the weekends over
Deltona.
there. No, no,
Deltona
no,
High,
no,
right?
no. I know at the facility.
Oh, you were doing
Yeah,
it.
because
Oh,
I
on
was
Saturdays.
doing right,
I
right.
remember.
Because I
Okay.
was doing lessons at Deltona High for a
Yeah.
little bit, and then I transitioned to at the other facility,
Right.
and I stayed there doing lessons, and then I finally got the opportunity. And I was just like, hey man, like if if you can just help me get a platform, then I'm in. Like I'm there because obviously it comes to you got to pay bills, you got to do this, you got to do that, and leaving a full time job, working
Yeah.
80 hours, a freaking
Yeah.
40 hours a week, 80 hours every 2 weeks is like it's kind of hard to just jump and make that leap. But
Right.
I know I was built for a little bit more,
Mhm.
and I feel like this is where my calling was.
Right. No, that's awesome. I mean, and that's how I felt too. I mean, in 2018, like, so real quick, I won't go to this podcast is about you, it's not really about me, but, um, I felt in 2018 when Ariel gave me that great opportunity to kind of just come in and just, learn how to be an operator of a baseball business. And then he put me with a lot of good, connections, and I learned a lot. I knew that I had a passion for kids. I've always known that. I think everybody always knew that I had that passion and I was good with kids. Um, so I thought about, making a facility for a long time. But I kind of put that on the back burner. I wanted to still do my gaming stuff. I still wanted to work, make money, and do all that stuff. Until honestly, I think it was till 2021. I started, I got with Michael Maine, and he helped me out. And I think that was God's calling to really draw me back to baseball because I was out of baseball since 2018. The game has changed in that many years after COVID. Like, there was a whole bunch of stuff. So I got that opportunity, and then, I saw what he was building, and I saw what a lot of people were building. I got a lot of opportunity from, other people to come, coach and stuff. I'm like, man, I could just, I really want to do this myself. Um, I just seen like what I can bring, and I see all the failures of everyone else, and I'm gonna try to capitalize on that, and then, to try to, make something what we got right now, which I think is going to be, the biggest thing in our area. I really do believe that. Um, but what about the facility? So the facility idea, man, that wasn't real until like a year and a half ago, man. So
Yeah.
I made a business plan for whatever reason. I had no intent to show anybody. I literally, like I told you, like after I talked with, our business partner Santos, which is crazy. It comes full circle because after college and after I was done playing ball, Santos gave me my first job. I was a roofing estimator. I had no idea about how to do anything. He taught me, and I learned, and 10, 12 years later, I coach his son, and I was so comfortable with him of showing him on my vision on what I want to do. He loved it. I caught him at a great time, and then I didn't think it was going to happen, but dude, a couple months after that, facility was being built. Champions Forge was being built. I think it's the coolest thing in the world, though. The idea behind Champions Forge is I wanted to build champions. So I went in Chat GPT at the time. This is 2024. And I'm like, man, I want to make champions. How can I build champions? And then Chat GPT gave me this list. And I was like, I want something more. At the time, I was playing, some games, World of Warcraft, and it has forging, like Doris would be forging weapons and all that stuff. I'm like, dang, champions forge. And I typed it in Chat GPT, and then it told me like, if you wanted to build something that had champions, you should like forge it or something like that. And then that's how I put the name together, Champions Forge. And here we are. it's awesome, right? It's cool. Like I'm just messing around in Chat GPT and then kind of just figured it out. I'm like, dude, I can work with this. And then I gave it to a designer, Ryan's dad. He was amazing. I told him what I liked, and then bam, I mean, he made the logos. He made two different versions of the logos, and we kind of just went with it. I was doing lessons at Boomba. I was grinding, man. I mean, I've been doing lessons since 2017. I don't think a lot of people know that, but I've been doing lessons from 2017 to 2018, that whole year, even 2016. So I would say 2016 between 2018, I was doing lessons and stuff. And I took a break right after 2018, going into 19 until 2022, maybe 2023. So that I wasn't doing anything baseball related. So that was a long break, and I feel like I was doing content for a long time. I've been doing content for a long time, so that helped me. I feel like everything I did in my life got me to this point, but it was preparing me. Right? I knew how to. I worked for YouTubers, big YouTubers. I learned a lot of the back end stuff of YouTube. I learned the back end stuff of Instagram. I learned how to market. I learned how to make thumbnails. I learned how to do audio. I knew how to shoot cameras. I knew how to do everything. Now, I mean, it's kind of easy. Everything is AI, and I don't really have to do that stuff no more. Thank God. But now I know the back ends of that stuff, and I felt like that's what's helping the brand, and you know what we're gonna do. Like the culture of our brand is doing well, just because I know the back end of everything, and I just felt like it was just a perfect opportunity to do it now. And since I know all this stuff, God's really been preparing me to get to this level, to get here, and here we are. And now we're going to do it our family members, which is pretty cool. It's a dream. It's a dream come true, right?
No, for sure.
It's definitely a dream. And I guess my next question is how do you like coaching?
What for, coaching?
Well, now you're a travel ball coach, right? Now I guess we'll get into the good stuff, right? Everyone wants to hear the travel stuff. And how do you feel about just being a travel coach, since me and you are new to girls softball, which we love softball now. I don't even want to go back to baseball personally. I know you still want to do baseball, but softball, how do you feel? I mean, it wasn't ideal. You weren't supposed to coach,
no.
But stuff happens.
I mean, honestly,
here we are.
I really think it's for the better, though. I mean, because just learning both sides. I mean, especially if I'm doing softball lessons too now.
Yeah.
So it's I wanted to break off eventually, kind of learn the game a little bit more, because now it only helps me with training purposes.
For sure.
I definitely think that coaching it's interesting for sure. It's definitely interesting. It's you have the parents, you have the kids that have the attitudes, you have all this stuff, but at the end of the day, it's how can you shape them into being a champion?
Right.
And that's kind of what we have in the back of our mind most of the time. And it's definitely interesting. It's definitely different from baseball. It's definitely, I feel like the girls definitely play with a little bit more heart than the boys, which is kind of fun to watch. Where I feel like baseball is kind of, they take it for granted a little bit more.
Yeah.
And they have a lot more to work for than the girls do, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you have MLB, all that stuff, minor leagues, and all that. Where softball just has 2 pro league, 3 pro leagues.
They have a couple pro leagues, but the big one is the AUSL.
Yeah, the AUSL, and it's being a coach. I've always wanted to be a coach. Whether if it's in college or whatever it is. I feel like I know the game very well, especially being a catcher. Dad taught us the game very well.
Yeah.
Sitting alongside Dad while he's coaching and me being a catcher, kind of understanding everything. It just only helped me more. Being around high level people, being around Mike Powers as he's coaching and stuff like that. It's you see the ins and outs of what it takes to be a good coach.
Yeah.
A champion coach. Even Ravel, you remember when I was playing for Ravel, wow, one of the best coaches I've had when I was younger, growing up, that's what it takes. And if he's setting a standard of, hey, you have to do this, you have to do that for this outcome, it's probably right. How many championships has he won? How many if you go to all these guys that made it and that were coaching, like Mike Powers, he played in minor league ball and stuff like that. So it's these guys know something parents don't, that we don't. They know what it takes to get to the next level, and that's the biggest thing that kind of keep in my mind when I'm coaching is like, how do I outsmart the other opponent? Like,
Mm-hmm.
what am I doing? What do I got to do different to win? How am
Right.
I going to do? And the only way you could do that is if you train your girls, you train your boys the right way of every inch, every minute, every second. You
Yeah.
have to keep going. Like, you have to win every inning. You have to win every pitch. You have to win every second, because at the end of the day, it's like you win every inning, every pitch, you win the game.
You win the game. Yeah.
So, and I think coaching is definitely fun. I love it, and I can't wait till we start expanding even more into like college, getting to college showcases, college ball, and all that stuff with our girls. And it's like, I'm very excited to kind of see the ins and outs of that, because it's
Yeah.
just very it's very rewarding, I'd say, especially like winning championships, and having the girls be so excited, or even the boys, having the boys be so excited winning a
Yes.
championship. So it's like those things, I feel like it matters to them, and I feel like that's what sets them up for life and what they're going to go into like at the next level.
Yeah, it's definitely rewarding, right? Like seeing them, when they all sign at the end, when they're done with high school and they're signing and going to college. That's gonna make me like super happy
Yeah.
because we have girls that didn't think that they were that good. Like
Mm-hmm.
now they're starting to believe in themselves. You're seeing progress, and a lot of our girls are new. Like
Yeah.
no one wanted them. Everyone's like, "Oh, she has a bad attitude. She's not good." I'm like, "Okay, well, I see something different, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna trust my gut over your gut because you don't know what you're doing, but I do." So, that's what we're doing, and
No, I honestly I agree. To touch on that, like, I mean, you've always had a good idea on potential and talent.
yeah, thank you.
Whether it's from even our Call of Duty days, dude. Like,
Just know,
you know
man.
what I'm saying? Like, you streamers, like,
Mhm.
some of these streamers that are little, but like they got a couple followers up there, like, a couple 10, 14,000. I mean, if it wasn't for you pushing them,
No, it's true. Yeah.
it's like, where would they be? And I feel like that kind of leads even to some of the softball girls, even some baseball kids. Like,
Hmm.
like, I feel like you have a good eye for potential and talent, and I think that's one thing that kind of separates you from other people.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's something I'm passionate about, man. Like recruiting.
Yeah.
Just like when I was a college recruiter, I would help out my, the girls' head coaches. Like, yo, can you go do this for me? I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. And I had fun recruiting. Like, I love recruiting, especially at college. I love it. So, like, I see, not just a softball, baseball is like that too, right? When we work with Seminole State, and I used to go to all these showcases that they send me to just to make extra money and stuff. It was awesome to see. I love talking to the kids and making their day if you go talk to them. I think that's pretty fun to do. But yeah, I feel like I see the potential, and I know what it is because people didn't really see potential in me because I was X, Y, Z, whatever the excuse was. But like I think I have a good eye because of it, right? Because I know what it is to suck. I know what it is to be good. I know how to be good, and what tools do I need to have to be good, right? So I feel like I add all that, and this is why we're building what we're building. All my teams, even, and now we got a new baseball team that I'm excited about, and people are saying X, Y, and Z about that team. But yeah, I think we have a good group of athletes. I'm happy with that. I don't need them to be the best 13-year-olds in the world.
No.
I don't care about that,
No.
right? Let's see how good they are by 16, 17 years old. Let's see how good they get. Right, at the end of the day, that's all that counts. I don't care about being elite. Everyone, don't get me wrong. I would love to have all winning national elite teams, but bro, that's just not realistic. And you don't need all this, elite national. You don't need any of that to get recruited. I don't care what anybody says. You do not need that. Especially now, times are just way different, man. One freaking viral video can get you recruited. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like one
sure.
viral video can get you recruited. It's insane.
That's just the day we're in now.
And yeah, I guess that's the next topic we could talk about is just like people thinking that you have to play travel ball and play like 80 games. You have to play fall, spring, and summer. I mean, I disagree. I don't think, especially at the ages like 13, 14, even 12, I don't think you need to be playing summer or yeah, I don't think you need to be playing summer. I just think you need to train. If you're elite and you're already training, then you go play. But a lot of these kids don't have tools to get recruited,
Yeah.
right? You're 15, even the 15-year-olds, right? You got 15-year-olds that can't even, hit a home run.
Mm.
Or they're not running a 2.9 for softball. You're not running a 2.9, home to first.
No, yeah.
You're not that good of an athlete. So what are you paying to go travel to freaking, I don't know, New York, Pennsylvania, the Sparkler, like
Tennessee.
for what? You're not recruitable.
Yeah.
Like what are we talking about here?
I mean, I think that's kind of goes to just my recruiting process too. It's like if you can't pass the eye test, like
Yeah, no
how
one
are
will
you gonna get
recruit
past
you.
anything else? You know, like
Yeah,
so.
bro.
I mean, I feel like there's so many instances where it's like people are like, I have to play 1,000 games a year. It's like
Yeah,
let's try to get let's go. Well, what do you call it? Let's go guest play. Let's go to this tournament. Let's go. Like it's fun and everything, but like it's not fun going 0 for 10. Like it's not fun
over
going
10.
0
And
for 8.
bro,
You
there's
know,
a
it's like
you play in these showcases, but the good teams, right? They're gonna play on the good fields.
mhm.
The rest of the teams, you're a money team, bro. They're just taking your money, which is okay. Look, if you wanna just go for the experience, I think that's fine. I definitely I think you should do that. But like, if going over there in every showcase and think you're gonna get recruited, you're not.
Yeah.
I think you have a better chance of going to whatever school you want to go to and go to a camp, build a personal relation. Look, man, if you're throwing, I'll use softball. Baseball's a little different, but softball, like if you're throwing like 65, you don't think if you're going to a camp they're gonna talk to you? You throwing harder than
Like as a
freaking
pitcher.
as a pitcher or anything, 65, 70
Yeah.
miles per hour. You don't think you're gonna get picked up
Yeah.
or at least talked to? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure. That's where the tools kind of come into like
You
what
gotta have
tools do you
tools.
have? That's why I think the biggest investment is like not just lessons because we're trainers. It's more like the gym, like investment into the gym,
Yeah,
investment into speed and agility. Like all those stuff matter. Like
yeah.
if you can create 5 different tools and you have all 5 tools, there's nothing you can really.
It's so easy to recruit
It's
at
so
that
easy to
point.
recruit because I know I can. You're fast enough to go. Hey, I can go put you in outfield.
Yes.
Hey, I could put you at second base.
Right.
Hey, I know you're athletic to play somewhere. I
Mhm.
know you're fast. I know you can throw the ball hard. I know you can hit with
Right.
power. So it's like now it makes the game a little bit easier for you. You're giving yourself more opportunities to kind of just open the door, like you know.
No, that's why like in the way I structured, and, now the way we structured, like our fall team for softball in 16, right? Like we're not playing summer. Why the heck are we gonna play summer
Hmm.
right now? Our girls are not ready.
Nope.
Where are we gonna go lose for? Where do we? What do you? They're not gonna get recruited. They're young. We have a young team. Why?
Yeah.
Why are we gonna go do these things? It don't make sense to me.
No.
That's why they're in the gym. They're working out. They have to gain size. They have to get faster. They have to throw harder.
You have to look the part, and then that's the biggest thing. You have to look a part, and you play good, look good, play good. Like all that stuff matters. I definitely
Yes.
think it's more of a what do you call that? Like it's more of a grind than people think it is. Like they think
Mhm.
it's just like I go up there, hit the ball, and I'm like, all right, why am I not
Yeah,
recruited?
why
It's
not
like,
recruited? It's
but
like,
he
bro, you're hitting a
goes,
little dinky shot.
yeah,
Man.
it's like
No one want
you're
that.
going 3 for 3, but they're bloopers. They're
Yeah,
infield
bro.
hits. It's
Like,
like unless you're a slapper, you're not getting picked up for
that's
for
what I'm
infield
saying.
hits.
Like, if you're a slapper,
And
sure, but you better have good speed,
yeah, no, I agree.
right? Like, you better have good speed if you're gonna do that.
And
But
and honestly, it comes from the preparation. Like what are you doing? Like how many times we run into instances with girls like, oh, I'm sore, I'm this, I'm that, but it's like you knew you had a game coming up in a week. Why aren't you stretching every day?
yeah,
What's your nutrition like? Why are you drinking soda before games? Like all that stuff matters. Like, and I think that's the biggest investment when you start deep diving into your diet
Yeah.
and the gym and all that stuff kind of starts to come full circle where it's like all this plays a part, like how you
Mhm.
sleep, your energy levels, like if you're able to go over 3, what's your attitude look like,
right.
and I think that's what plays a big part in of being recruited and the recruiting process is like, are you a good person at the end of the day?
Mhm.
You could be the best player ever, but if you're a terrible teammate, are you going to be good for my program?
Yeah.
Probably not. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And that's what another thing I like our summer camps and like what we build at Champions Forge is just a culture, bro. Like
yeah, for
like
sure.
like we did some team stuff yesterday. We had somebody do something wrong, and it lost them the competition. But like most of the people went to go pick that person up.
Right.
That's teaching what you need to teach at the next level.
I agree. Building character, being a good teammate. Because at the end of the
It's
day, you're
important.
in a championship game. Your best player is 0 for 4.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? You're
Yeah.
gonna just tell them, hey, you suck, like, bro, like they're at battle with you, and you're not gonna have a good day all the time.
No, for sure.
So learn how to pick each other up, and that's something that I think we do a good job of. And
Hmm.
whatever, we're gonna be criticized. We're gonna be, people are not gonna be here. People are not gonna like us, and I love that. I think it's awesome. That means we're doing something right,
Yeah.
right? At the end of the day, we're doing something right. And you can say X, Y, Z about me or you, and I don't care, bro. I'm gonna still do my thing, and we'll see how many kids you get recruited, and see how many kids, grow up in our program, and see where they're at in the next 10 years.
No, I agree.
That goes for everything. I want to be the number one baseball softball facility in the country eventually, right? That's the goal. Is it gonna happen? I don't know, but I'm gonna try,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, for
I'm
sure.
gonna try my hardest.
Why not?
And if you feel threatened, then that's on you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't worry about you. I worry about us, man. That's our whole thing is just focusing on this. I don't care about what anybody's doing. I care about what we're doing. I care about the mission. And I think that's what really separates us. I don't think a lot of people have that type of culture.
I mean, that's why I kind of even I speak to the girls like, I'm like, hey, like, get rid of the excuses. Like, I'm asking for results, not excuses.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest thing. Is like when you find it in you to just do whatever it takes to get the job done.
Yeah.
I think that's what starts separating you. And I think we take that even into, us as a
Everything.
facility. Like,
Yeah.
who cares? Like, let's get the job done. Let's get these kids signed. Let's get these kids to the next level.
Mhm.
Let's make them good people. Like, let's lead them the right way.
Right. Even if we don't do our job right, let's say, oh, you're not developing my kid. But I get, I'll tell you, like, at least that person's going to be a better kid, a better player, mentally,
Just a
like,
better human.
Yeah, like especially off the field, right? But if not, they got a lot of running to do.
And I think I think it's just on how much we really care for the kids. I think
Yeah.
that's why we come off a little strong, or like we come off a little like too hard on the kids. It's just like we're too hard. Like they say we're too hard, but it's like I know what it takes, and I know you have it. And that's the thing. It's like
Well,
if you just did this a little bit more, or like push yourself a little bit more, and if I feel like if I had to be the bad guy for that,
yeah.
then I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah, be the bad
like
guy.
I'll be the
It's not
bad
fair.
guy. Hey, you can blame me all you want. Like, Coach Jordan's this, and that. But if that's what got you to the next level, I'm okay with that. You
Yeah.
call me whatever you want to call me.
Right.
At the end of the day, I can't make everybody happy.
No, you
So, and that's how I feel like that's how we coach our teams too. Like we just got to get the job done.
Right. So a couple more questions I wrote down. What is the biggest mistake you see in like kids right now that they're doing? I guess we kind of briefly talked about this, but what do you think if you had one thing that kids are doing wrong or parents are doing wrong, what would it be? As far as like the recruitment process and recruitment process. Let's just go over recruitment process or development process.
Just probably going to a lot of these known showcases and these teams that I don't really think they're gonna get noticed, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is just investing into like training. It's
Yeah.
just that they're just missing tools,
Yeah.
and that part, like, where they're just like, you can't go to these showcases that you want to go to, and your kid can't even hit the ball.
Right.
Your kid can't throw.
Right.
Your kid can't move accordingly. Right?
Right.
Like you don't look smooth. Like look at the girls at the next level. If you
Yeah.
don't look like that, then you're probably far from that. Like it's one or the other. It's like they're at the next level for a reason, and you're trying to get to that level, but do you even look somewhat close to that?
Right.
Are your numbers somewhat compared, like, close to what they got? Like, and I think that's the biggest thing. I think the investment in your kids' developmental. I think that's the biggest thing I see. I see that, and kind of like being a little bit too soft.
Right.
I think these, like, life's hard.
Yeah.
So, like, try to push your kids to the maximum. I mean, granted, every kid's going through something, but that's why
Yeah.
you kind of gotta, like, do it with, like, a positive reinforcement, like, and tell them why, like, you're being hard on them, not just hard on them and then just push them out.
Yeah.
Because
Especially
now they
like,
feel like they're a problem.
especially now, man. I just feel like everyone makes excuses for their kids and stuff. It's like, bro, like, I'm never gonna do that. I don't care what anybody says. Oh, your daughter is this or your son is, not at that age yet. Bro, there's no excuse, bro. Do you know who our parents are?
Yeah.
You know who our parents are? Bro, that
Mhm.
doesn't fly in this household. Like, that does not fly. And it's not going to fly with me either. It's just, and then, that's why, we're really disciplined in what we believe in. So good parent values for sure. Shout out to mom and dad for that. I think the final question I'm going to ask is, where do you see yourself? Where do you see Champions Forge in 5 years from now?
Taking over each city at a time, baby.
Taking over. Yeah, no, for sure, man. Like,
I just, we just have such a strong community and culture where I think that was the biggest thing we wanted to build was because we were so rejected from
we're
so
a bunch of
many
rejects.
Dude. Nah, not really rejects, but like we were just kind of overlooked, and I know what it feels like to get overlooked, so I try not to overlook kids, and if I do, I apologize in advance, but I try my hardest to give everybody a shot.
Right.
And I think that's gonna kind of, go on to the next couple of years. I mean, I see us doing all types of stuff, showcasing college workouts, signings,
right?
College signings, talking with college recruiters, probably having some college girls on the podcast,
I can't wait.
Right? Some
5 years
baseball
from now,
guys on here.
For sure.
Some pro guys on here trying to build something, right?
Yeah.
How many great athletes come out of DeLand, DeBerry, Orange City, Deltona?
We're a slept-on county.
We are a slept-on county, and that's
really
why
are.
I feel like that's why we're here.
Yeah.
We're gonna open this thing up and put us on the map.
Yeah, I want to be like, what I'm saying, especially at baseball, softball. Like everyone's always Seminole County. How about Volusia County, brother?
Yeah.
Like we got a lot of talent, but everyone wants to keep going to Seminole County.
Yeah, they want to keep.
How about we keep it
How
here
about we
in the
invest
land? You know what I'm saying? Like what
How
are we
about we
doing
invest
here?
in us?
That's what I'm saying. Everyone wants to do this, but we're here to finally do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think we have the tools and knowledge, the connections. We're gonna do it, and that that's why we're having this podcast. To come see what we're about. I mean, this is who we are. We don't really sugarcoat nothing, man. We're the same way with everybody. If you don't like it, sounds like a you problem. But yeah, man, I appreciate your time, Jordan. I know you're Champions Forge best trainer, so I know your time is valuable. But I appreciate you, bro, and I look forward to building this with you and Tristan, and now we have Tim, and hopefully we can get some softball girls eventually in the facility. But where I see us in 5 years is going to have like 7 trainers. We're going to have 10,000 square feet facility. It's going to be fun, and hopefully a top 5 podcast. That would be great.
That'd be cool.
That'd be kind of cool, right? But we'll see. But yeah, man, I appreciate you.
Always
guys, if you enjoyed this podcast and you got some type of value, please, hit the subscribe button, throw us some comments, let me know who you want as your next guest. Just let me know, guys. Yeah, I think that was fun, man. I appreciate it. Let's get out of here, bro. I'm hungry. I'm trying to eat. You got to train. We got all you can hit today. But yeah.
Just a start, baby.
Yes, sir.
Peace.